Hello, everybody. The purpose of this video is to explain and do this as an English exercise for advanced students. So there are going to be two questions that are going to be in the description, and I am going to talk about three different ways that some movies have conceptualized some of time traveling as it is. So let's begin. The first way in which time travel has been expressed or created in movies would have to be taken as reference Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, in this sort of time travel narrative, we have a narrative that is cyclical, it's closed, and what the person does when they travel to the past is exactly what happened in the present. In other words, there is really no change, nothing really changes. The main thing there is perception, right? For example, Harry sees that the bird gets its head chopped off, but the perception in which he was seeing it was not the correct one. It was a different perception that he sees when he travels to the past with Hermione, and they see that really the bird didn't get its head chopped off. It was a pumpkin, right? So the first type of time travel is cyclical, it's closed, it doesn't change anything when you travel to the past. You travel to the past to change something in the present, but it really doesn't change anything because what was supposed to happen happens, and that's the way it is. Mm, there really is no purpose. I would call that more of a fun time travel story. The second type of time travel would be the time travel, for example, from the Back to the Future movies. In this type of time travel, what happens is that you want to change something in the present, so you travel to the past, you change the circumstance or the situation or the person or whatever, and then you return to the present and it's fixed, it's changed, right? Uh, I would say this type of time travel is actually I may be wrong, but I would say it's the first type of time travel that we would have in narratives where you want to change something in the present, so you travel back to the past and you change it, right? Um, okay, the third type of time travel, and this one was a little new just recently. I thought about this, or I got the idea from the movie Avengers Endgame, where what happens in this type of time travel movie or narrative is that, well, the Hulk even explains it, right? There is no such thing as going back to the past because you are living lineal, right? You are living in a lineal time frame. So when you go back to the past, it's really your future. You continue to travel forward, right? So there really is no change in the past or what you're doing in the past. Um, and what they do in the movie or what they end up doing is they end up using time travel more as a space, right? So they actually travel to the past, to different types of pasts or different pasts, but they do this because they need the stones, right? So they just take them and they return. And of course, they talk about opening alternate universes if they change anything, right? And then they return. And that's where we get into this whole mess of alternate universes. Now, so we have to review. First, we have the time travel that is closed. It's cyclical, nothing changes when you travel to the past, like in Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban, sorry. I said Chamber of Secrets. The second type of time travel is like Back to the Future, where what you do in the past changes the present. And the third type of time travel is that when you travel to the past, you're really not traveling. you're really not living the past. You're living your future or your present as you were, right? Now, I wanted to explain this, or I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I saw the episode, well, in this case, from Rick and Morty, where they try to do a little bit of time travel. But what caught my attention is that they're in Rick and Morty, they're always messing with alternate universes and dimensions and different places in the universe that they visit. And Rick and Morty is actually based off Doc Brown and Marty, right, from Back to the Future. And Back to the Future is actually time travel, and I think Rick and Morty is a little bit afraid to explore time travel because time travel could get really, really messy. I mean, if we throw in the element of family, for example, like in the series Dark, we have mind-blowing things like where the daughter is the mother and the mother is the daughter and crazy type of things like that. Which is nice to explore. I think it would really be a complex topic to explore, time travel and alternate universes, alternate dimensions, like they did in Everything Everywhere at Once, right? That was a really good movie too. But yeah, I think Rick and Morty is a little bit afraid to explore time travel. So what they do in their episode of time traveling is Morty wants to basically be able to travel back to the past every time he messes up, right? So Rick creates a type of mechanism or a remote where he can travel, where he could say this is where I want to start, and he resets every time he travels or every time he messes up, right? Like for example, so he doesn't die or he doesn't or he's not ashamed of something he does. And then Rick ends up telling him that he never really traveled to the past. He was just traveling to different alternate universes, right? Which I would say he still lives them, because at the end he tries to morph all these other dimensions into him so he can experience the pain or something like that. But he ends up experiencing all that anyway. So I think that episode, I think it's called Vat of Acid or something like that. They didn't really explore time as they should have. Time, I think, can get really complex if you really throw in the element of space, right? If you throw in the element of other dimensions and alternate, like in Avengers, what could happen if you go back and you actually open a new alternate dimension and you live it, and then you travel between one and the other, or you travel more and you travel among all these other dimensions. Um, they actually say, I think I heard Joe Rogan talk about this, where you actually stop, um, you don't you the time stops making sense because you could be anywhere at once. And I think he even said that you can travel between conversations and people wouldn't even notice that you left, right? I think time traveling is a really interesting topic to explore, especially in movies and series and books. And I hope people keep doing this. I really enjoy watching it. So to summarize what these three, for the exercise, what these three time travel consist of. The first one is cyclical. It's a time travel where nothing that you do changes, right? Like in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The second type of time travel is when you travel to the past to change something in the present and you do it. That obviously creates other problems. And the third type of time travel is that you are actually not really per se traveling to the past. You're continuing in your line of present, right? Which is what Hulk explains in Avengers Endgame. Of course, this is taking into consideration only past, right? Past related to present. But if we were to go to the future, and then we could have all these other type of time traveling tropes. So I think I'm gonna finish the video here. I hope you like it, and I hope you have the information you need for the two questions I have in the description. See you.